Hello and good evening. I actually want to have more of a real chat with you, like a fireside chat, I guess you could call it. And so I actually recorded this whole video in my car and then it didn't record. So I'm going to share it with you right now. I want to walk with you through the last 3 weeks because a lot of what I've been going through has a lot to do with your subconscious mind and bringing things into your reality. So there's 3 weeks worth of material here. Break it down by week. Week number 1, I had this massive breakdown around religion because I have an internal program within me, and I know I do because every time I think about religion, the first person that pops up in my mind for me is my grandmother on my mother's side of the family. She was a very religious person. She was very flamboyant, so to speak, about her religion. And she was very, you know what I mean? Not because she was religious, but just because of who she was as a person. And so when I think of religion, I typically tend to relate that to her. And so it really is something that's difficult for me because I don't want to be perceived like she is perceived, at least in my opinion. And so the first week I had this whole breakdown about religion, and it was like, well, if God really existed, then why would I be going through all these difficult things? And it took me until Wednesday to really get on better ground for myself. And then by the end of the week, everything was fine. It was like nothing even happened at the beginning of the week. Keep in mind, this 3 weeks ago, probably more than 3 weeks ago now, I started running NLP sessions for free. So I've been working with clients in exchange for market research right now. So I'm doing these NLP sessions and I'm starting to notice these things kind of come up within me. And that was just, like I said, 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago now, or last week, yeah. Not Monday, the 5th or 6th of May. It was like the 29th of April at the time, okay? Another breakdown because I've been pushing and pushing and pushing for so long to make my business work. And just as this happened every other time, when I'm pushing, it's not working. It's like instead of reaching people, I'm like digging a hole deeper into the ground for myself. And so I had a breakdown because I was a part of this group and the women who were in the group were rooting us all on. They still have that mentality. However, I didn't really pick it up that way. And I was like, I need a break. I can't do this. I'm going to be done. Keep in mind, I also was having an argument with Tommy and I was like, I'm just going to destroy everything. I'm just going to burn it all down to the ground. And so last week I did. I burned everything down to the ground. I deleted Facebook. I deleted YouTube. I deleted Instagram. I deleted everything except for my podcast. And I said, I'm going to cancel everything. If I get an email for a guest, from any guest, from any person who wants to be a guest on my podcast, then I'll keep the podcast. And it was pretty impossible to my brain at the time that I would get anybody to email in as a guest. And the next morning, I woke up to an email from someone who wanted to be a guest on my podcast. So I was like, well, I guess I have to do it. The universe doesn't want me to quit. So I kept the podcast, and I've basically, in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, completely uprooted my content plan, how I'm going to be creating content, what my content's going to be about. Because I do really want to talk about finance. I do really want to talk about making money. But I'm noticing more and more that this manifestation, this subconscious, this inner work piece is such a big part of things. So I've kind of uprooted everything and I've been playing with what it's going to look like going forward. And so by the end of the week, I had another really awesome week. Now, fast forward to this week, okay, May 5th or 6th to the 11th. Today is the 11th at time of recording, 2024. And on Monday, I got into another really emotional state because somebody, one of the customers for the company that I work for, basically just had it out with me, just was so very upset. And it wasn't because of anything that I did wrong. Actually, in fact, it was not my responsibility. The thing that happened was the pallets were put on the truck so that the last 2 pallets could fit and the door could close. And I don't load the truck. So everything else was fine. But because the pallets had to go sideways so that the truck doors could close, he was under the impression that I had them do it wrong the entire time, and I didn't. So I got like completely thrown under the bus for something that wasn't my responsibility. And I had an emotional breakdown, and the first thing that happened was I went to, well, if this is what's going to happen, then I should be responsible for more. I should be doing more, and I should be the person in charge instead of giving it to somebody else, because clearly we can't trust anybody else, which is wrong. That's not the program. There's a bug. I don't know that I got it. That's not the program that's going to cause success. That program running in my mind is actually going to keep reinstalling and like affirming that I need to do more, which is not true. It's going to basically like reiterate, back that up. I don't know why reiterate is the word that's coming to my head, but it's basically going to reinforce, that's the word. It's going to reinforce that I need to do more. And that's not true. I don't need to do more. So keep in mind, I've been doing these NLP sessions like this whole time, okay? And Monday, I was listening to subliminals, I was listening to my hypnoses, and it didn't take me until Wednesday to get back into a better emotional state. It really only took me until Monday night, I was still kind of upset, but by Tuesday morning, everything was fine. And it really goes to speak to the power of working on your subconscious mind and working with yourself and doing that inner work. Because if I hadn't started doing these NLP sessions, I wouldn't have started to realize how powerful reframing things and going through and comparing the parts of myself would be. And I haven't in a really long time been journaling, and I haven't been a keeper of my own growth, which goes to speak volumes to taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. Oftentimes people talk about self-care and it's like going out and get your nails done and going to the spa and all of this stuff. And for this particular point in my life, I'm realizing more and more that self-care isn't necessarily going to the spa and taking care of yourself, doing something because you want to do it. It's also taking care of your mind and taking care of, there's the bug. I got it. I got the bug. It's taking care of your mind. It's taking care of what you are going to, what perspective you're going to bring to your day. So I wanted to come and bring that to you because it's an important thing for you to have a really good mind frame and for you to be in a really good mindset so that the day goes as well as you could possibly ask for it to go. And so that when a curveball does come your way, you don't get like KO'd and put down for the count. So when you're going through your day, I want you to really think about, if I just take a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to listen to maybe a song that's going to help you envision some things, or listen to a subliminal or hypnosis, is that going to get you in a better state? What's going to get you into a better emotional state? Because manifesting at the end of the day is always going to come down to your emotional state. And if you're constantly in this like triggered state, it's going to be difficult for you to call in those things that you're looking to call in. So consider that. I want to thank you for tuning in, as always. And I want to encourage you to drop a comment down below on if you've ever listened to subliminals or hypnoses before. And if you're interested in hopping on an NLP session, I'm running them free until June 21st, 2024. So I'm going to put my Calendly down below. Once it's June 21st, I'm probably going to take that down. So why not? Thanks for tuning in. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely be sure to subscribe because more of this is coming your way. And turn on notifications because you're not going to want to miss this stuff. Okay. I think that's it. Bye.